Welcome to the next episode of the Last Visit First podcast, live from Scottsdale, Arizona at the Home Care 100 show. Welcome, Steve Phenneger, CFO and President of St. Croix Hospice.
Well, thank you. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, Steve's a really dear friend of mine, and most people know that. We've known each other for many, many years, back from Home Care Home Base days over to Clara, now to St. Croix Hospice. So why are you here, Steve?
You have to be here. If you're in the industry and you're not here, you don't know what's going on. So I come not necessarily for the content of the conference, but an opportunity to connect with everybody in the industry, get some private time when everybody's guard's down, and learn a little bit about what our competitors are seeing. And as one of my friends calls this industry, very ripe with co-op-etition, which I think is unique. So it's a great time for us to spend time with colleagues who have become friends, friends who have become colleagues, learn and share from one another. It's really cool.
Steve was the president and CFO of Clara, which is as a vendor. You've been here as a provider now too, so you've seen both sides. What's the good and the bad there?
It's much better to be a provider than it is to be a vendor. We'll just say that. Dates are a lot easier to come by. I think, look, there's value for both. The reality is it is the preeminent conference for home care in the country. Just like everybody has to go to JP Morgan, and people go to JP Morgan because it's a target-rich environment. You can accomplish a lot in a very short period of time. That's the same opportunities here. Over the 3 days, I'll probably have 25 meetings with a variety of providers, financiers, vendors, et cetera. You really get the opportunity to learn what's going on in a very short period of time.
That's awesome. That's really good. Tell us about St. Croix. Where are you guys at nowadays?
So we're in 10 states in the upper Midwest. We are a hospice-only provider. As you know, we believe in the single vertical method of delivery. We've expanded pretty dramatically over the last 5 years. In particular, we added 4 states. We've also added over that period of time about 70 offices. So we're up to right around 100 right now, which is pretty cool. Wow. And very proud to be serving around 7,000 patients a day across our footprint.
Wow. What have you learned since you've been here? Anything new?
I think I've learned probably more wash, rinse, repeat. I'm not hearing anything cutting edge. I think many of us hear the promise of AI, but we're still trying to figure out what the reality of AI is.
True.
It does feel a little .com-esque for those of us that are old enough to remember that. When everybody just put .com at the end of their name, it meant they were a technology business. It feels a little like that, so we're trying to get fact from fiction. It does feel like we're moving ahead as an industry from a technology adoption perspective. But the reality is this is always going to be a hands-on, personal touch business. And the goal's got to be, how can we get our clinicians to spend more time with patients and less time dealing with bureaucracy?
Got it. And who's with you? Who'd you bring?
So we have a cache of people here with us. Our chief growth officer is here, Joe Mooney. Our chief clinical officer, Manny Cogswell. Our SVP of quality is here. And then we've got a finance strategy and operations guy with us as well. So we're trying to cover all aspects of the conference, from what are people doing in the markets, what are people doing clinically, what are people doing from a technology and operations perspective, and obviously kind of what's happening in the market as a whole, whether that's M&A, divestiture, et cetera. As you know, there's been a lot of activity in the market and expected to be a lot of activity in the market over the next 18 months.
That's awesome. And so the conference is great, networking is great, series are great. Dinners at night are even more fun, right?
Yeah, I think this is kind of a conference that grew up around a party, and that's where all the action really happens. The 27 meetings are great, but you learn a heck of a lot more at dinner, at the walking at one of the social events, being with people at night. That's generally when the guard gets down. It's also an interesting time to compare notes, to hear what different people have heard throughout the day, and kind of realign.
How many of these have you been to?
With this business card, I think this is number 5, and I think I was at 4 with 2 other companies.
Yeah, so you've been a lot of.
I've been, yeah. I think I get my 10-year pin next year.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I got the 10-year pin a few years ago, and then I just got the medallion. It's the 20s.
Oh, there you go. It's a good ball marker for you, Tom.
21 of these things, so it's been a blast.
Well, that's awesome. Well, the conference has changed a lot, some for the good and some for the bad. But those of us that have been around for quite a while remember kind of the great opportunity for us to all share privately, which is what the conference was originally born from.
It was. All right. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Well, look, I appreciate it, man. You're a sharp-dressed man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Look at you, man. That jacket's amazing. All right.
Thanks.